Tennessee Reconnect is an initiative to help more adults return to higher education to gain new skills, advance in the workplace, and fulfill lifelong dreams of completing a degree or credential. And coming up tomorrow at Northeast State, you can find out more about Tennessee Reconnect at an information session. And here with all the details is Jim Henrichs. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Chris?
I am fantastic. Let's talk about these information sessions coming up.
Yep. We normally schedule them once per month, and we have one tomorrow night on the 14th. October 12th, November 9th, and December 7th. They're all Tuesday nights. They're 5 to 6 p.m. For the time being, we are planning in-person sessions, but we do have a Zoom option available for those that, may not be able to make it or don't feel comfortable gathering, with a group. But during these information sessions, I tell them all about Reconnect. There's a financial aid representative that can answer any financial aid questions. We have someone there from the Tennessee Reconnect community. It's a statewide support service that they have in place for the adults. And then we have folks from our Reconnect program at Northeast, like our adult success coach.
At Tennessee Reconnect, I kind of gave an general overview of what it involves. There's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, Tennessee Reconnect, it is a really easy program to qualify for. It's the companion to the Tennessee Promise. That was for the high school students, and then several years later after that, Tennessee Reconnect was designed for adults. And basically there are several eligibility requirements. The first one is you can't have an associate or bachelor's degree. The second is that you have to have been a Tennessee resident for at least a year. And the third is you complete the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, and be classified as an independent student. That's a really important part. Typically, if the student is 24 years of age or older, they're automatically declared independent. However, there are some exceptions where they don't really care about the age. Being married or having children, military, a ward of the court, emancipated from their parents. There are some exceptions where the age doesn't really factor in. But as long as they meet those requirements, they have to do the FAFSA. That's part of the requirements because they want to exhaust whatever eligibility they might have through the federal government. If they don't qualify for any aid or not enough aid through the FAFSA to cover their tuition and mandatory fees, then Tennessee Reconnect will step in and pay their tuition and mandatory fees. So the beauty of this program is, as long as they qualify for Reconnect, somebody other than them are paying tuition and fees.
And that is a beautiful thing. It
really is a very
is.
beautiful thing. They have to keep a 2.0, take at least 2 classes per semester, which is 6 credits, and maintain continuous enrollment. So if they start the fall, they come back to spring. Then they have to come back the next fall. They can't basically, as we say, lay out a semester.
Right. And the courses you're going to study, what you want to do with your Tennessee Reconnect program, kind of wide open, isn't it?
Oh yeah. All of our 150 certificates and associate degrees, they all qualify for the Tennessee Reconnect. So it's just up to the student to make the decision as to what they would like to do. I meet with a number of adults who are looking to make changes in their career. And they're not 100% sure exactly which route they want to go, but they know whatever they do, they want to make it worth their while. I get the question a lot, okay, if I take this, will I have a job waiting for me? And it's like, well, we don't promise that, but. So
you'll be more prepared for that career.
Exactly. In our career services office, they will meet with these students even before they're actually students to sit down with them and help them decide what might not be a bad path for them to go. Initially, we thought most of the adults would want to go for a short-term experience, a one-year certificate, or one of our 2-year, we call them terminal degrees, but they're Associate of Applied Science degrees. Those are the ones that don't transfer on. But there's a fair amount of students who are coming to us for their core classes, okay, just like the Tennessee Promise students, and then moving on to a 4-year school. So they're kind of all across the board.
And I know that in the economic climate that we're in right now with COVID and other situations going on, a lot of people are actually thinking about making that transition and getting some more training. So this is a perfect opportunity for those folks.
Exactly. Now is a great time. Now is a great time to go back and finish the degree you once started, or maybe just start one to begin with. As long as they maintain the 2.0, 6 credits and continuous enrollment, they get up to 5 academic years to complete their associates. So let's just say they've never been to college before. They only take 2 classes each semester. They should be able to finish one of our associate degrees within 4 years. So they give them a little extra time to figure things out or if they make a change.
How long has Tennessee Reconnect been around?
It started in 2016.
Right.
So it's only been around five years, but there are thousands of adults in Tennessee that are taking advantage of this. And even though it's been out there and we've talked a lot about it, I still meet people who said, "Oh, I never knew that existed."
Right.
You know, so.
And what kind of feedback are you getting from the folks that have taken advantage of Tennessee Reconnect?
They love it. They absolutely love it. It's enabled them to come back to school and finish that degree, or maybe come get one. We have some folks where, you know, they wanted to get their kids off and make sure they were good, and now
Be empty nesters.
Now it's time for mom and dad,
Right.
and we have people in their 70s that are deciding to come back to school, and for some, not necessarily to a change in occupation, but just because they want to learn.
Yeah.
They don't want to sit idle. They want to do something. You know, and we have a whole range of students that take advantage of it.
I love the fact that you in their 70s, just a love of learning.
Yeah.
Just to I think that is important as far as keeping your mind alive and keeping a good way of living for the rest of your life, is to keep learning.
The first college I worked for, the president said to me, he said, "If you stop learning, you stop living." And he took the whole lifelong learning thing very, very seriously, and that really resonated with me, and it's really true.
Right. Let's talk about, I know there's some folks out there right now watching this, they're saying, I'm really interested. What is that first step that they need to do?
Okay, the first step basically is probably to email me, and you can reach me at tnreconnect@northeaststate.edu. They could also call the school's main number and just ask for the Reconnect guy, or I want to talk to someone about Reconnect. They know who I am. But yeah, the first thing to do is to contact me. My job is to help them get ready for school. You know, the application for admission, the FAFSA, the Reconnect application. Sometimes they'll apply for other scholarships, and all these applications and deadlines and requirements can get really, really overwhelming pretty quickly. So I just say, hey, look, let me worry about that. I'll keep you on track, okay? But that's really the easiest way to get started.
I think that's important because a lot of folks have some trepidation if they're thinking about been out of school for a while and they're wanting to take that leap, to have somebody to back them up a little bit. That's very important.
Our adults come in with some very valid fears, and I tell them that's perfectly fine. I said, but is anyone forcing you to do this? And they all say no. I said, okay, that coupled with your maturity, you know, I'm not saying there won't be any bumps or challenges along the way, but our adult students tend to be our best because they know why they're there, and if they're adding school onto their already busy schedule, they're going to make it work, and they typically do.
All right. Jim Henrichs, thank you so much for taking some time with us today.
Appreciate it.
A very important subject. It is Tennessee Reconnects. Info sessions are happening 9:14, 10:12, 11:09, and 12:07 from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. right there on the campus of Northeast State. If you need more information, give them a call right there at that number and check out that website.